All right, so we're on day 13. This is video 5, starting with question 40. Now, this question states and asks, which statements below are true when x equals 5? Meaning both sides of either the equation or the inequality need to equal out when x is 5. So, starting with A. If I start with 3, wherever you see x, you substitute the x in, and you solve the rest of the problem. 3 is equal to 10 minus 7, 3 equals 3, making A true. For B, 3 has got to be less than 2 times 5 minus 9. 3 less than 10 minus 9 is 3 less than 1. No, that is not true. Okay, for C, 2 has got to be less than or equal to 5 plus 6. 2 is less than or equal to 11, making C a true statement. D, 18 equals 6 times 5 minus 12. 18 equals 30 minus 12. 18 equals 30 minus 10 is 20, 20 minus 2 is 18, making D a true statement. And then you have E, where 3 is equal to 2 plus 5, 3 does not equal 7, making E not a true statement. Okay, number 41. Sorry guys, that was my phone. Turn that off. A brick has lengths of 2 2/5, a width of 4 fifths, and a height of 1 centimeter. How many 1 centimeter cubes can fit along the length of the brick? So we're looking at the length here. The cubes are 1/5 centimeters. So this represents the total, and this represents the part. So you want to start and say, okay, I'm going to do 2/5 divided by 1/5. Remember, I told you turn these into an improper fraction. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12 over 5. Keep change, flip, times 5 over 1. Cancel out your 1s, gives me 12 over 1, which reduces to 12 cubes. All right. 42. Notice that it's done for you, but I'm going to explain it for you. If 300 cubes can fit in the rectangular prism below, what is the edge length of each cube? Okay, so they said 300 cubes can fit inside of each length. This is not the correct answer, so let's make sure we work this out correctly. First, so they said 300 cubes can fit in a rectangular prism. What is the length of each? What is the edge length of each cube? A cube is, remember, a cube is same size across the board. So if I know that the volume here is represented by, this is the total volume, and so many cubes go into 4 and 11 over 16. Let's try this one out. 4 and 11 over 16 divided by 300. Okay, 4 times 16 is 64, 74, 75 over 16 times 1 over 300. So, cancel these out. You have divided by 5 makes this 15. Divide this by 5 makes this 60. But I can simplify that again. Divided by 5 makes this 3. It makes this 12. So it becomes 1 times 3, which is 3. But I'm sorry, I can simplify that even more. It's 3 over 16 times 1 over 12. Simplify that, that gives me over 4. 1 over 64, each cube. Well, that gives me 1 over 64, but that does not represent, there's the size of it. This is the volume of each cube. So you want to find the cube root of each. What times what is going to give me 1 over 64, because remember, volume is length times width times height. Length times width times height. And a cube, all of these are the same measures here. So either way, the volume, if the volume of a cube is 1 over 64 equals a side to the cube, you want to find the cube root of each, making it 1 over 4. The length of each cube is 1/4. All right, number 43. Which dimensions describe a rectangular prism with a volume of 350 cubic units? All right, you should simply multiplying straight across. As you can see, I cross-simplified the 2 and the 4, making it a 1 and a 2. So it became 1 times 1 and 3 is 3 over 50, which gives me the same volume as what they're asking for. You can pause the video for a moment and look at my steps in solving this problem. Okay, use the formula for the volume equals length times width times height to find the volume of the rectangular prism. Show your work. All right, for this one, you're simply doing length 4 over 9 times width 2 over 9 times 7 over 9. Can't cross simplify any of these, so you're going to have to multiply straight across. So that becomes 8 times 7, which is 56. And then you have 81 times 9, 729. Okay, so now I know 9 can go in here. Let's see if 8, I don't think 8 can go in there. Can it simplify? Can't divide by 2. I'm going to double check. So you have 729 divided by 8 is decimal. 729 divided by 9 is a whole number. I'm going to leave my answer like this. Since it's doing volume, it becomes yards cubed. How many cubes? There you go. Okay. How many cubes with side lengths 1/2 would fit inside the rectangular prism shown below? Show your work. Well, if it says fit inside, that's talking about volume. Sorry for the blurring, guys. That's talking to you about finding the volume. So you want to first find the volume. It's a rectangular cube or prism, so it's length times width times height. So you have 6.5 times 4 times 1 1/2. 13 over 2 times 4 over 1, because you want to turn this whole number to a fraction, and these mixed numbers to improper fractions. Cross simplify. So you have 13 times 1 is 13, 13 times 3 is 39 over 1. Okay, so that's the volume of the whole cube. Now you need to figure out, well, each cube is 1.5 meters long. So how many of these can go into 39? So you have 39 divided by 1/2. How many cubes? Not the lengths. 39 times 2 over 1 is equal to that 60 plus 18 is 78 cubes. Let me double check. Find the dimensions of the prism in terms of the number of cubes with side lengths. Okay, so my answer key is showing me something totally different. What they're having showing me here is you want to take each side length, each length, and the height. And you want to take, if the side length is 6.5, then you have 4, and then you have 1 and 1/2. They say, and I apologize for this is not normally the way I would do it, but when you take the length, and you divide it by the amount of the size of the cubes. That turns this to 13/2 times 2/1, which makes it 13 cubes. This makes here 4/1 times 2/1 makes it 8 cubes. Oh, and I understand the reason behind this now. It's times 2/1 makes this 3 cubes. Now you take these measurements and you plug it into your volume formula to determine how many of these cubes can fit inside. And that makes it 312 cubes. 312 cubes. My apologies for the mistake. Okay, number 46. What is the length of CD in the figure? First, you need to determine and say, look at your scale factor here. Each unit is counting by 1. So if you look at the side length, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 units for your side length. Okay, which name best describes the polygon with vertices? This, and this. Well, how many vertices are there? Remember, vertices are the corners of a shape. Where two lines of a shape meet. So since there's 4, a pentagon has 5, a triangle only has 3. Now, a trapezoid would be something like this, and a square all equal. This would represent all equal sides. So if you get to a question like this on the FSA, see if you can plot the points. 0, 0. You have 2, 4, 6, 8. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8. Shouldn't take you too long. 4, 8. Then you have 10, 12. So you have 12, 8. So automatically you see what's happening here. What's the type of shape that's happening? Trapezoid. Making your answer a trapezoid. A rectangle has one vertex at 0, 4. The rectangle has at least one side with a length of 6 units. Which of the vertices represent the 3 other vertices of the rectangle? Okay, so what you want to do in this case, I'm going to draw a triangle real quick. A coordinate plane. All right, the one that's most obviously given to you is 0, 4. So 2, 4, I'm going to go back. 2, 0, 4. That's the most definite one. Okay. Now it says the rectangle has at least one side with lengths of 6 units. So the length of this rectangle can go this way, can go up, this way, or down. So if I'm counting by 2s, I'm going to go 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Okay. That means the triangle can be, the rectangle, this point, and this point, and this point all have to be in one of your answer choices. Okay, now, if I look at my answer choices here, I see 0, -2, 0, -2, okay? So that means if I have a point here, that's for sure. Oh, sorry, you couldn't see that. 0, -2. Then it says -2, -2, -2, 4. Does that make a rectangle? Yes, it does, making A an option choice. For B, 3, 4. Nope, doesn't work. 3, 1 doesn't work. 0, 1 does not work. B is not an answer choice. This is what, question 48? All right, so then you have 6, 4. That's one of the points that we saw on our graph here. 0, 2, so that means it's this, and they should probably say 6, 2. That's a rectangle. There you go, making C an answer choice. Okay, -6, 2, 4, 6, 4. All right, so 0, and then 0, 5. And then -6, 5. It's a very skinny rectangle, but it's still a rectangle with one side 6 lengths. Okay, 0, 6, 2, 6. That means from here, 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 and then to 4. Very small square, matter of fact, making E not an option choice. So you're left with A, C, and D as your choices. Okay. The figure below is a regular hexagon. Each unit on the graph represents 1 centimeter. What is the perimeter of the hexagon? Explain how you would found the answer. All right, well, obviously, if it says 1 unit on the graph represents 1 centimeter. So that means 1 unit from here to here is 1 centimeter. So I have 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters. Well, a rule with hexagon says that all of these side measures are the same. So I can just go, how many sides are the hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 times 6 makes the well, let me double check. Hold on. What's the perimeter of the hexagon? Oh, I'm sorry. I take that back. 1 unit. Since this represents 2 units, that means 1 square technically is 2 centimeters. So if 1 square is 2 centimeters, this is 2, 4. So each side is 4 units. I'm sorry. And then it's 4 times 6, making it 24 centimeters. Because this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, this is 4, and that is 4. All right, a rectangular plot of land is represented on a map by the vertices 10, 10, 10, 90, 70.590, and 7.10, where the x and the y are measured in yards. What is the area of the plot of land? Since it's a rectangular plot, if I have the points, if 1 point's here, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then I have 10, 90, 1, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So you have 10, 90. Okay, and then you have 7. So that's just 10, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70.5, 70.5, and 90. Let me draw a thing. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. 70. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. So each of these is counting by 10. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 10 is 80. So the measurement here is 80 yards. From here, from this point to 70.5, it is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60.5. So you have 60.5. Now to find the area of the plot, the area of a rectangle is length times width. So you have to do 80 times 60.5. Come to the side, 60.5 up top, times 8. I'm going to add the 0 at the end, okay? Because I'm not going to multiply this extra 0. 40, 0, 4, 48, add a 0 with 1 decimal, making the area of the plot 4,800 and double check. Where's my answer key? B. 4,840, which is B. All right. A line segment has endpoints, -1, 1, -1, and -1, 2. So if I draw my coordinate plane here, and it's always okay for you guys to draw a quick coordinate plane. It doesn't have to be the best. If it's -1, -1, -1, 2, that way you can easily count how many units they are apart. Could the vertex form a triangle if connected to the endpoints of the line? So plot your points and say, okay, 1, 2. So I have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. Is that a triangle? Yes, it is. All right, -1, 6. No. -1, 6 would be up here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's just continuing a line. -1, 0, still following on a straight line. It's not a right triangle. And then you have -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Up 8 makes it silly type of triangle, but it's still a triangle. All right.